up, we'll have Ariel. Ariel is one of my most well-spoken and most thoughtful classmates I've ever had. We had the class PEIS 150 together. It's about China's regional development. And now let's welcome Ariel. Ariel.
So my brief personal introduction will be a little bit longer than brief simply because I don't have an introductory video. But I'm a fourth-year double majoring in political economics and music here, and my focus in political economy is actually East Asian post-industrial development. I'm fascinated by cities. I'm really, really interested in China. And I actually was lucky enough that my parents put me in Chinese school when I was about 5 years old. And I was in Chinese school, and I kept going to Chinese school all the way until about the age of 14 or 15. And I was lucky enough again to score an internship in Sacramento working in state politics. So that was one of my focuses. After that, I worked in DC for a national security think tank on issues of, again, East Asian development and particularly infrastructure projects. But most recently, I've been taking classes in Mandarin. I took Chinese 1A and 1B here at Berkeley. But 我说中文说得很不好, so next summer I want to go and study abroad in China, hopefully in Beijing.
Ariel, now it's my turn to ask you a question. And I read your resume and I was dazzled. And you're the co-chair for the LGBTQIA conference. And for those of you who don't know LGBTQIA conference, so we have Ariel explain that a little bit.
Right, so that long acronym is lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, intersex, and asexual. The estimate is that 14% of entering students at Berkeley don't identify as heterosexual. So for all of those, that's a big acronym to sum it all up.
Okay, I really appreciate your political activism, empowering the weak and voicing your opinion. At the same time, you are interested in China, learning Mandarin and taking this class with me for China's regional development. So let's imagine one scenario. You are organizing the LGBTQIA conference in China, trying to persuade the Chinese government to legalize gay marriage. But how do you mobilize the politically apathetic Chinese youth to join your cause?
What an interesting question. Well, I think first of all, I challenge the idea that Chinese youth are politically apathetic. I think that they do have a variety of interests that are political, in the sense that a conference here on LGBT issues, that's lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, again, would look vastly different from such a conference in China. And you have to make it, you have to reframe it to be about financial incentives, to make China a booming, tourism industry for these 14% of tourists who happen to not identify as heterosexual. But also for young people who value individuality and entrepreneurship in China, and to show them that really to have easier access into avenues of prosperity and job growth and job retention in their home country, in China, you focus on the urban areas where they do have more clout, more political clout, and start there. So, yeah, thank you.
Thanks for that. Now it's time to ask Ariel questions.
I like you creative ideas of how to do that. But if the local governments, because they have someone hired them, and they agree with you, but they cannot take the action because they are afraid of that. Do you have a better way or another creative ideas to sell your message to them?
To sell
your concepts.
My concepts, right. It's difficult, and not all of China is Beijing, and we also have Dongbei, and it'd be super, super difficult to go in there and to say, hey, let's legalize gay marriage. But, but I do think that, I think that where local governments are resistant, there is a way to attract international business and to have a national conversation about gay issues that, again, is more about finance, it's more about industry, and it's more about economic growth than it necessarily is about, you know, democracy, freedom, and individual liberties. So, yeah.
So you see it as a way. So why is that? What are the ways?
So what are other ways, specific ways? Well, again, I wasn't raised in China, so I'm kind of, you know, I would be, it's a big challenge to try and say what I would do, which is actually the entire subject of the class that Henry and I are taking together this semester. But I think that, getting, again, if money talks, getting large corporations from the United States to offer, for example, to invest in China, to open a plant, to open a factory, and to request or require that certain accommodations be made for gay employees, for example. That would be one way where you can start to kind of implement that into industry.
What would make you give up?
What would make me give up? Not much. Goodness, I think a lack of vacation time, maybe. No, I really think that particularly the conference that Henry was referencing, I'm a fairly hardworking person, and this year is the very, very first time where I actually quit all of my other activities to focus on one project, just one big conference, this 1,000-person conference that's coming. So I think that whether it's working on one project or working on 5 projects, whether it's going to China and trying to study there and learn Chinese, or coming here and taking classes, holding 3 jobs, and working on this conference, I mean, I think I'm pretty persistent. Thank you.
Okay.
Say if you are in China under some scenario that you obtain confidential information about China as food camping all the gay people or AIDS people in a centralized camp, and you are under the pressure of political pressure to destroy that particular information, confidential information. Otherwise, you will be facing a big trouble. What will you do to get around a situation like that?
So just to reiterate back to you, if I had confidential information saying that there was some mistreatment of gay people going on, yeah, and it would be, well, again, it's, you know, it's ethics versus my, you know, whatever my particular job would be. And it's a difficult situation, particularly because, for example, I've actually applied for a Department of State internship for next summer, and I'm very, very interested in diplomacy negotiations and, in some ways, not rocking the boat diplomatically. But I think that there are some reasons why websites like WikiLeaks exist. And I think that everything from whistleblower protections to other sorts of legal protections, I would hope those exist. And if not, I think I would do what's right, in my personal opinion.
Okay. Now we have comments. We have 2 comments for the audience. Okay, they said 1 comment. Sorry.
Since I already started as half sentence. I like your way of understanding the political economy in the reality world. How we can balance it out by having the money and moving the politics to making the right move. And also, your way of answering my question about how you can get the information out to public instead of protecting yourself for the bottom line. And I think that is very admirable.
Just a short comment.
Thank you.
So, this is a comment I would like to share with you. A lot of my classmates who are to law school, and they, in their personal statement, when they say they want to work for social equality, liberty, and a lot of classmates who advocate for the gay people, when they say that in the entrance statements, that actually high percentage of them actually doing that right now, and I do have a lot of respect for them. to them. And I think that's great. It's good to you, good, but you can have that thoughts right now and keep doing that. That's what small percentage of people actually make this society great. So please keep doing that.
Thank you so much.
I want to add one more comment. So I actually like it very much. I mean, the case topic is just one topic, but I do challenge you, basically try to find a different solution. Also, you are able to explain to us, like, you have so many things to do, but you actually set up the priority to do the same thing. Like, shut down all the other things and focus on one thing to have very good thing. That's extremely good thing. That's the type of things that are company need. And also, I think you are able to link whatever we discussed to the technique, which is right now the most popular topic in daily life. I think if I were a company's marketing or sales integration person, I'd just like to. I want to carry on the silent country, but I think this is very good, and you have very good idea.
Not.
The last word. I'll still what we are looking for is the person can make it happen at PhD. Persistent, hungry for success, driving to make it happen. Hope to make your dream come true.
Thank you.
It seems we have all 7 lights on.
For the record, I would definitely keep it on because I don't have enough.
Thank you.
Okay, now it's your chance to ask questions. One question.
Okay. Okay, so my question, and this is entirely self-serving, is what would you tell somebody who is going to study abroad in China about what you think that they should learn or what you think that they should see?
I would say to try to understand them first. To be a good listener watching the body language.
I think we can do both, and I think the thing is, the best thing to learn is to be there and then interact. And in that case, you can learn things, and just to have that whole new experience is wonderful in life. And you're going to learn something once or the other. And I think just use that opportunity as just enrichment for life. And I think that you might find that things could change your whole life. Maybe future spouse or a lot of other things. And also, by the way, China is a new market. Maybe not only limited to China, but it's a new country that we plan to spend some time on. That helps to bring some great value to you. So I think that's something we should consider. Itself.
Thank you.